They told her she peaked too early, that the pressure broke her, that the hype was bigger than the substance, that maybe, just maybe, she was never really as good as everyone thought in the first place. Then Greg Rusedski stood up and shattered every single one of those narratives with 8 words that should make doubters everywhere very uncomfortable. This was not some throwaway comment buried in a lengthy interview. This was not cautious optimism wrapped in disclaimers. Former world-class player Greg Rusedski looked directly at the tennis world and declared that Alexis Ohanian is coming back and a return to the WTA top 10 this season is absolutely within reach. When someone with decades of elite-level analysis makes that kind of statement, you better believe there is fire behind the smoke. Because here is what most people missed while they were busy writing obituaries for her career. She has been systematically rebuilding the exact 2 elements that separate good players from elite ones: her serve and her physical conditioning. Not randomly, not casually, with surgical precision and relentless focus. The evidence was impossible to ignore at the Madrid Open. Remember who she dismantled there. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova is not some journeyman you cruise past on a good day. She is a seasoned professional who has broken down promising young players with tactical intelligence and experience. She knows how to expose weaknesses and punish hesitation. Ohanian did not just beat her. She dominated her, controlled the entire dynamic from start to finish. And afterward, when asked what made the difference, she pointed directly at her serve. Months of preparation in that specific area, paying dividends on the biggest stage possible. Free points, opponents on their heels, before rallies even developed. That is not luck. That is targeted improvement delivering exactly what it was designed to deliver. But the serve is only half the equation. The other half is happening in the gym right now. More strength means heavier ground strokes that penetrate deeper into the court. Faster recovery steps to defensive positions that would otherwise be impossible. Physical resilience across brutal 3-set battles against power hitters who never let up. At the highest level of women's tennis, matches are not just technical chess matches. They are physical wars. The baseline exchanges stretch far beyond what casual observers expect. You are surviving repeated acceleration and deceleration while executing split-second decisions under enormous pressure. Raw talent creates the opportunity. Physical conditioning sustains it when everything is on the line. And here is where the story gets truly fascinating. While she has been quietly rebuilding her game piece by piece, the support structure around her has been growing stronger and louder. Filipino fans traveled across international borders to meet her in Italy. Not a token showing, a genuine energized crowd who invested their own money and time to make sure she knew she was not alone. Then there is Novak Djokovic. The greatest player in men's tennis history does not distribute praise carelessly. His support for her has been consistent and authentic. He took time for personal on-court sessions, called her impressive on television, and even more compelling to witness in person. Elite athletes recognize serious hunger in other athletes. When Djokovic speaks about a player with that level of genuine admiration, it tells you everything about the quality and presence that player carries. Now connect those dots forward. Former champion analyst and current all-time great both lining up behind the same young woman at the same moment in her career. That does not guarantee outcomes, but it signals that the people closest to the highest level of this sport see something undeniably real. Consider the pressure she has been carrying and how she has handled it. Representing an entire nation amplifies every match and every result. Millions of people with emotional investment are watching, analyzing, celebrating, and sometimes agonizing with every point. That weight has crushed far more experienced athletes. Yet through victories and defeats, through spotlight and scrutiny, she has maintained composure that is genuinely remarkable. Never fracturing publicly in defeat. Never inflating beyond recognition in victory. Pressure reveals exactly who an athlete truly is at their core. It strips away performance and exposes the person underneath. What the pressure is revealing about her is authentic resilience. The kind of steadiness required to climb into elite territory and stay there across an entire season. Because reaching the top 10 requires surviving extended scrutiny, navigating losing streaks without collapse, and arriving at crucial matches without mental weight crushing all the physical preparation. The temptation in professional sports is always to categorize too quickly. A dip in results and suddenly the narrative shifts. But genuine development is rarely a clean linear climb. There are plateaus where improvement happens entirely in training, before surfacing in competition. Then something clicks, and preparation becomes performance exactly like what happened in Madrid. She is young enough that every element of her game has room to evolve. She is not coasting on early promise hoping it carries her indefinitely. She is actively constructing the next version of herself with deliberate systematic precision. The serve work was proof of concept. Physical conditioning is strategic long-term evolution. Fan support strengthens her emotional foundation. Backing from legends reinforces external belief when internal belief needs reinforcement. Breaking into the top 10 requires far more than occasional brilliance. It demands accumulation of points and performances building across weeks and months on different surfaces under varying conditions. The WTA depth is legitimate. Sustainability separates upsets from sustained ranking climbs. But every momentum indicator is pointing in the right direction. If the serve continues producing free points and early pressure, service games become shorter and more efficient. Energy gets preserved for moments that matter most. If added strength translates into penetrating ground strokes and faster court coverage, she can withstand physical demands of deep tournament runs without fading when everything is decided. That combination creates exactly the sustainability required for consistent elite-level competition. Greg Rusedski looked at the evidence and concluded the ingredients are genuinely aligning. He is not forecasting based on hope. He is projecting based on observable progression that connects what is happening now with where it logically leads if the work continues. He is challenging everyone who allowed doubt to become the default position to stop and reconsider what they are actually seeing. The serve is finding authority. The body is growing stronger. Belief is rising with every match. The people who have witnessed everything this sport offers are saying publicly they believe in what they observe. The climb is not coming. The climb is already underway. And if everything currently pointing upward continues traveling in this direction, the real question will not be whether she reaches the top 10 this season. It will be how long she stays there once she arrives.